Hello, welcome to the Tough Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be doing a reading for you connecting with the energy of the planet Mars. So you can see Mars is here in Scorpio. If you look at the actual position of the planets at this current point in time, if I click here, you can see is 11:11. Happy 11:11 portal, everyone. Uh, yeah, and it's about 1 o'clock where I am right now. So, um, yeah, if we look at the True Sky chart, you can see Mars is here. There's the ticker, the red one. It's in Scorpio in the 10th house. So this message is going to have something to do with your public image, or maybe even related to your career, or just how people perceive the work that you do, whatever it is that you do in the world. Yeah. So to start, yeah, when I opened the random figure generator app, it generated this music note. It's an eighth note, and I'm actually wearing a Gibson acoustic guitar T-shirt today. I didn't plan for this to happen, but there seems to be this emphasis on musicality here. So sound, you don't have to be a musician for this to be relevant to you, but something about timing, rhythm, using your voice, making some noise, perhaps. These particular notes, there's a high note and a low note, and it's an eighth note. So we've got like a one and counting going on. So there's kind of this like a little bit of a faster rhythm going on here. Um, yeah, and things might seem like they are maybe kind of winding down at this time. I definitely have let's see. So on the pre-shuffle, we ended up with the Seven of Pentacles. And for the archetypes, we got the Ocean. So with the Seven of Pentacles, there's this idea of like pausing to reflect and evaluate. So that might be what this like downward movement is emphasizing here. It's like maybe you have had recently done some work, kind of made it to this plateau, and now you're kind of like, let's look at what we're doing here. And the ocean is giving me this idea of like infinite possibilities, um, or at least access to this realm of like source. It's kind of like connecting to source, right? To find what are the next steps, where is this going, what do I need to do, kind of thing, or what do I want to do. Need, yeah, you know, the world is it's what you make it, right? Your life is what you make it. So you have to keep that creator mindset that you have the agency to make decisions for yourself and move towards the kind of life that you want to live. So, yeah, evaluation. All right, let's get some nouns. Let's see, I think it's this one, yeah. So these are the ones that started off with just when I opened it. Cracker, rub, verse, and rub as a noun is like kind of made me think like, what's the rub? You know, what's the situation? Which again is this idea of like evaluation. Cracker is giving me the idea of like a sacrament. You know how like you do the oh my gosh, I can't think of a term for it. It's been a long time since I've been in church. But you know they do the ceremony with the blood of Christ, the body of Christ, and the body of Christ is usually represented by a cracker of some kind or a wafer, whatever. But that's what this is giving me the energy of here is this like this idea of like a sacred sacrament, a symbol to represent the um, the taking in of something, right? Because in that ceremony, you do, you know, you eat the cracker and you drink the little bit of wine or grape juice. Yeah, and that's coming through this idea of a verse, like it's making me think like a Bible verse. So some kind of like, you know, the situation here seems to be some kind of like ceremony. Maybe it's like an evaluation of your rituals. Yeah. Taking the time to look at all the things that you do ritualistically or habitually and evaluate, like, is this still, does this still mean anything to me? Is it still helping me? Is it, like, what is it doing for me? That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. Yeah. All right, so let's get some new ones, though. Okay. Kettle, chickens, and carrot. Interesting. So kettle, I actually made some tea. I do it every morning. Kind of one of my rituals, I guess. But yeah, I made some hot water in a kettle and made myself some green tea. Um, so this idea of like heating up, right? Because in order to get the tea leaves to seep into the water, it has to be like hot, or at least it works faster if it's hot. Um, so yeah, it's interesting because with the music notes they were going down, just making me think like some kind of descent, but this is like heating up, is what it's making me think of. Or maybe it's more of a pouring out, because once the water is hot, you have to pour it out. So there's that descent, right? Yeah. So a couple different levels here. Chickens could be significant for someone. Where I'm living currently, there are images of chickens everywhere. Currently living in my boyfriend's grandma's house. We're staying here at this point in our life. It's a very interesting time for me. Hasn't been easy, I'll say that. But yeah, there are images of chickens everywhere, and this makes me think like laying eggs, and it's giving me this idea of like chatter too. You know what? And the kettle does that too. It whistles when it's ready, right? When the water's hot, it whistles, and chickens they balk and squawk, and they lay eggs. I'm getting this idea of like protein coming through too, because chicken. Uh, I just had some chicken tacos last night for dinner, and then the eggs. They also are a great source of protein, and this idea of care, taking care of yourself. Or I'm also getting like being careful of what you say. Careful what you say about other people. Careful about what you say about yourself. Um, yeah. All right, let's start from there and see where we go from here. I'm going to pull some cards. All right. So what do we need to know about this chatter? I'm going to go with this talk, this being careful about the words we use or the way we speak or who we're speaking to, maybe. What do we need to know about this? All right, let's see. Let's try to. Anything wants to come out here? Okay, we got the Page of Swords. All right. Well, swords is definitely the energy of talking, right? And the page, these are like new conversations or new information, learning new things, right? This could be. I'm gonna get more. Let's see. I'm feeling like maybe it's talking about being careful about the information you choose to accept as truth, because you can see this page is holding a single sword, which makes me think Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is often associated with truth and clarity. So it's like, be careful about what you accept as fact, as truth, whatever that means for you. All right, let's just draw some random ones here. We got the Eight of Cups, okay. And Justice. All right, yeah, interesting that Justice is coming out. On the bottom, we got the Ace of Pentacles, so a new opportunity. that is going to materialize for you somehow. With the Justice and the Eight of Cups, this is like in Page of Swords. This is like learning something new, which balances out the situation and allows you to move on. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from something, going to higher ground, rising above. Um, that's interesting. This one's pretty cryptic so far. I guess what I want to know, it's interesting that Justice is coming out because, of course, we have the Sun in Libra, and Justice is the card associated with the sign of Libra. Um, hmm. So there's something about like what is fair, what is right. Um, not something just working out for one side, but it's like a balancing of both sides, whatever this. I wonder what this Eight of Cups is. That's what I want to know. Let's see. What is this Eight of Cups, please, Spirit? Oh, a Magician and something I can't see yet. Oh, and we got the Sun coming out too. So we have the Sun in Libra. Both coming out. So there is clarity here, something being revealed. This is a result of something you have called in for yourself, maybe, or for a particular situation. Five of Cups. So we have the Five of Cups and the Magician clarifying the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there is a letting go, and it's not necessarily easy, right? There's this sense of like sadness around it with the Five of Cups, but it is something that you have like created or you have worked towards. So even though whatever this is kind of like a sad situation in a way, it's fair and it's a result of you learning new information. I need to know more about this Page of Swords. All right, let's see. What else can we know about this Page of Swords, please, Spirit? Oh, okay, well, that's a lot. No. All right. Okay. On the bottom, we have Three of Swords. Yeah, so this idea of sadness and grief is definitely coming through. Both heavy on the emotions and the mind with the Three of Swords. Swords are all about the mental space. And then we have the Queen of Cups and the Star coming out to clarify the Page of Swords. So I'm getting like this is like some element of destiny or fate involved here with the star. It's like it's written in the stars. It's kind of what I'm hearing when I'm looking at this. And then with the Queen of Cups, it could be involving an older feminine figure in your life. And the only cups on the table are ones about like moving on and um, feelings of being abandoned. So I'm feeling like there is a movement away from this figure. This Page of Swords could be representing you or somebody else in your life that is in some kind of arrangement with this person. And there's a walking away. There's a letting go. There's a embracement of new ideas, new thoughts that leads to this. It involves some element of creativity as well with the star. You can see that's the key word there on the card. Creativity is highlighted here. Yeah, all right, and then finally, let's see more about justice. What is justice? What can we know about this element of justice? You have the number 8 coming through with justice as well. It's the 8th major arcana, according to the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. They did reorganize strength. Strength was originally 8, and they flopped it with justice, which was originally 11, and now in this deck, justice is 8. So it's the 8th house. This is like sex, death, and secrets, right? Shared resources to intimacy, like deep intimacy. And there's an 8 coming through again, the 8 of Swords. Restriction. All right, so this justice has something to do with the idea of being restricted. The 7 of Wands came out face down and also in reverse. So this idea of like barriers is like, it's like letting your guard down. Something about like honesty, like honest communication here, like careful, honest communication. All right, I'm gonna get some more. Let's get another image. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I've got this one up too. What came through was this like vape juice and also this recharging. So this idea of like juice or like energy coming through here. Like a, this is used to recharge vaping devices. So this idea of like smoke, something evaporating. Once again, just like letting go. And then also a refilling. It's like both sides of the situation, right? But this seems to be emphasizing more of the refilling aspect of it. All right, let's get some different ones though. Okay, motorcycles. It seems to be the same person. I think these images go together. Okay, so biker, motorcycle, riding motorcycles, pilot, Yamaha R3. Interesting, yeah, Yamaha R3 pilot. Yeah, so this is like literally the same person from 2 different angles. He stopped on the side of the road on this picture, but he's actively riding in this one, and there's a skull on his shirt. So I'm getting this idea of like endings, like the death card vibes is what it's coming through here for me. Oh, sorry about the ad, y'all. I thought I had that like blocked here, but hold on. I can't just block all the ads on this page because it prevents the images from coming through because I guess they're loaded from another website. So yeah, but anyway, so an intrusion, some energy of like, you thought you had blocked something out, but actually you didn't. Especially with the 7 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Wands is all about like keeping up defenses, energetic barriers, things like that. With it being upside down, it's like the defenses are down, right? And with that ad coming through, I thought I had blocked it. Literally, like to do it, you have to block the ads manually and then click block, right? So I thought I had blocked it, but actually it came through anyway. It's like something slipping through the barrier. And yeah, the 8 of Swords is kind of this idea of restriction, like some kind of barricade as well. Usually this is about like self-imposed restrictions, like mental blocks. But in this case, it's kind of feeling like, I don't know, it's feeling like barricade energy to me. So there is this like kind of like starting, stopping is what I'm getting here. Starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping. And with the justice, since that's what we're trying to drill into right now, you can see the scales are kind of like, they're not really balanced in this picture. They're kind of like in the process of balancing out. So it's almost like things are kind of like, they haven't quite leveled out yet. They're still, it's in the process of happening. And there's some kind of like leakage of like, maybe your energy is being leaked into this situation. Like the boundaries are not quite as firm as maybe you had thought they were. And it could be related to this kind of relationship that's going on here between the Page of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Whatever situation you find yourself in, it might feel restricting. And this focus on this things here are just preventing me from doing what I want to do, things like that, might be what's causing this like energy leakage. It's energetic leakage. But it seems to be balancing out. It's in the process of balancing out. It's very like kind of chaotic energy, this like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Let's get a little bit more about the Justice card here. But I'm also picking up like chariot vibes with these motorcycle images. It's like freedom, victory. Maybe you are more free than you think you are. Right? Maybe that's what's causing your energetic defenses to kind of be lowered because you're spending so much thinking on how you are restricted and less on how you are free, in what ways you are free, in what ways you have what agency you do have. Maybe you're not focusing enough on that side of the equation. I mean, we do have this idea like the ocean. I mean, that's like freedom in a nutshell, right? That's like endless opportunity, bounty, endless like resources, right? All right, let's see here. What else can we know about justice, please? Okay. All right. So on the bottom, we got the Hierophant. So this is like it can represent like a marriage or some kind of like institutional binding in some ways, also teaching, learning. And we had the Four of Wands pop out, which landed on top of the Page of Swords. So this definitely seems to be about a like living situation, maybe in a like whether it be just by proximity or like you're actually living with someone. Yeah, this is the fours. They just will not leave me alone. Like so much emphasis on house, home, your own body, your own temple. Um, but there's also this idea of like celebration coming through, and now we have kind of two things here, both fiery energy wands, which Mars is kind of a fiery planet, right? So there's this idea of like not having your guard up, and then also like a happy home environment, like a celebration of some kind as a result of this balancing out. I feel the balance here is heavily focused on thoughts and actions, with the swords and the wands kind of being emphasized here. I mean, we do have cups on the table too, and the magician, traditionally, he's depicted with all of the implements. He has the sword, the cup, the wands, and the pentacles. But there's not really a heavy emphasis on pinnacles here. We do have some earth energy coming through with the Hierophant, though. This is Taurus, associated with Taurus generally. Hmm. All right, let's see here. Let's get some more. What other? Let's get another figure here. Let's see. Oh, hey, music again. You know what? And with the harp, I'm getting this idea of like harmony, which is Libra, right? Harmonious energy, balance. Yeah, it's like this idea of creating a peaceful environment. Maybe maybe this Seven of Wands in reverse is actually not quite a bad thing, but it's like you are able to kind of drop these defenses that you've been having to keep up due to this change in your environment, which seems to be related to some kind of living arrangement. Yeah. And whether you are like actually like removing yourself from the situation and going into a new one, or this is just happening like you're elevating your perspective of your current situation to a different level. You're seeing it from a different point of view, right? This could also represent that. It doesn't have to be like a physical move. Um, I'm not sure. But there is this idea of like something contractual here with the justice and the Hierophant coming out, like paperwork, legal matters, arrangements is what it, like some kind like a change in arrangements is what seems to be coming through here. Let's get some archetypes, see where else this message wants to go. What archetypes are at play in this scenario, Spirit? Oh, okay. All right, so one fell face down, one fell face up. So this idea of like duality and balance again. And the one that's face up is the mask. And the mask is like the roles we play in a given situation, right? So there kind of is this idea of like maybe changing the way you are showing up in a given situation, the role you are playing. Right? And I had one kind of slide underneath the computer here. It's the vessel. And then on the bottom we have the healer, and it was kind of upside down like that. So there is this idea of like healing, the healing of whatever this scenario is. Maybe the mask kind of landed on the in between, like kind of in the middle of the Page of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Star here. So it's this idea of like creating this new way of showing up, like maybe the relationship between this Page of Swords and this Queen of Cups, and with the Star, it's like creating a new mask, a new role, in order to interface, in order for this relationship to interface better. This face down card also landed on the Page of Swords and the Star, and it's the sword. So yeah, this makes me think of Justice energy too, because if you look on the Justice card, they are also holding a sword in their right hand. So this is like decisiveness, action, making, you know, cutting away, right? Like deciding like, okay, I need this, I don't need that. Which is part of the creative process, right? Even on the mask card, we kind of have these like two sides. These are very similar, actually. If you look at the colors, they have, yeah, they've got like a light side and a dark side. One is more full of color, the other is just kind of like dark and obscure. So it's like you are obscuring what is not working and investing more in the sides that are full of color, full of energy, full of life, deciding what that means for you in this situation. And with the vessel, this is kind of the idea of cups. I'm going to cover up like part of this. Let's see. There we go. So there is a like feminine figure essentially in a cup on where my fingers are covering up. Um, but yeah, this idea of like being filled with a new source, right? Because if you look in the top part of this card, there's an energy source up here, and it's like shining down. The body is actually represented headless here, so it's like removal of thoughts. It's all just like how you feel, how you're feeling this energy, right? Um, yeah. So I guess there's a bit of emphasis on what feelings are you creating in this situation for yourself and for others. Hmm. And how can you heal it, right? And with this kind of like the snakes being on the bottom here and they're kind of like curving up from below, it's almost like they're poking their heads up to look into the core of the situation, right? To see what is actually going on at the core of things here. Interesting. All right. So yeah, I think that's a pretty solid message there. There's something going on in your environment that has to do with a relationship between potentially a younger and an older person, maybe of opposite genders. The genders put them where they go. We both have feminine, masculine aspects of ourselves. So, the younger person doesn't have to be a boy. The older person doesn't have to be a girl, but they could have feminine qualities if they're a man, things like that. So, yeah, interesting. Let's get some advice from some verbs. So these are the ones that came up initially. Tire, worry, answer. So there's this like tire as a verb is like being worn out, right? And we had that the juice and the energy charging station. It's like maybe this situation is creating so much like it's taking so much from you, it's making you tired, or it could be making the other person tired. And there's a lot of worry involved, which is like thoughts, right? Like just those repeating thoughts, like, oh my God, like when is this gonna end? Like, but there's this idea of like giving an answer, like, because this is a verb, right? Answer as a verb. So it's like the act of answering, right? So you answer, you provide the answer, or maybe an answer is provided to you. Take it as it fits in your situation. I'm not sure. Like, if you feel compelled to give some kind of answer to someone, maybe that's what you need to do in order to bring some balance back to the situation, to bring some justice to the situation. Put your defenses down, and tap into this energy of like a harmonious home environment celebration on the bottom, right? Yeah. Okay, let's get some new verbs. Hey, okay. Wow. So we had I changed it, but originally we had rub as a noun, and now we're getting it as a verb. Succeed, rub, and hop. Hmm. So yeah, obviously to succeed is like, there's a positive outcome here. Uh, I think as advice, this is saying that like your actions, whatever you do, should you choose to just wait, or if you feel compelled to actually do something, provide an answer, you know, hop to something, um, work it out, you know. Rub is like it's like, this is rubbing, right? It's like friction. It's like there may be some uncomfortability, there may be a rub between two things, but that's okay. Like, some energies they just don't they rub. They yeah, they don't quite get along, right? But rub, it could also be seen as a good thing, like a massage. Maybe that's kind of the way you can look at this too, is like even though some friction may be present, that's kind of like a foundational aspect of massage, right? It feels good, but it requires friction. So let's get some cards to go along with these verbs for the advice. Whatever this is, it's definitely something that it seems like it is a really good thing for it to happen. So whether this does happen to you or not, obviously you are the creator of your own reality. So if there is a situation where this is resonating for you and you're feeling like something needs to change, or right, because Eight of Cups is all about like changing that environment, like literally moving from one state to another. And it changes the emotional charge of the situation too, because it's all about emotions, cups, water energy, fluidity. And I just realized, like with the Magician and the Five of Cups here, it's like this idea of alchemizing these like feelings of despair, depression, abandonment, things like that. It's like the Magician, you're transmuting those. You are literally, with the Eight of Cups, like Scorpio energy, eighth house, is all about death, transformation, rebirth. And in order to change, you have to walk away from how the situation was, or the old energies of the situation, in order to change them into something else, to create something new. And this requires you to be decisive, to make decisions, to cut away what belongs and keep what does, or cut away what doesn't belong and keep what does. To step into a new role, a new way of seeing yourself and maybe even the other person, maybe even getting a glimpse of what's behind the mask of the other person. Yeah, let's see here. There's definitely this idea of like dropping the mask with this Seven of Wands, letting the defenses down, dropping the mask, just being like maybe even brutally honest, just like raw, real to someone else that maybe you felt like you couldn't be real with before. All right. Nothing seems to want to pop out here, so I'm just going to draw 3 cards. Oh, look at that. The swords, yeah. Ace of Swords. The truth, clarity. Like I said, being honest. Even if it cuts, sometimes that's what is required. Knight of Cups. Yep. This is like, bearing your heart to someone, like coming forward with an honest confession, especially paired with the Ace of Swords here. This is like, I'm bringing you my truth, right? And also shout out to the channel namesake Cup Knight showing up here. So yeah, follow your heart. That's what this channel is always about. Follow your heart. And we'll get one more. Knight of Swords. Yeah, see, these swords. It's just, this is all about like using your words from the heart. And you can see down at the bottom it says endurance. So there's this idea. Look at that unity. Yeah, coming together with someone, like just being honest. This honesty, this honest communication, however it plays out, is like it will bring unity. It will bring success. It's like it's a leap, right? Hop. It's a hop. It's there's like this like popping forward, like it's like this movement of just like you're like hopping over something, right? It's hopping over the hurdle, right? The hurdle, the Seven of Wands. Hopping over whatever this hurdle was that was kind of like creating this maybe less than ideal situation in your environment. and just really like standing in your truth. That's what the uh, King of Swords is about, right? It's like, oh, sorry, it's kind of hard to. There we go. It's about being in tune with your heart, for one, Knight of Cups. Here, let's just do it like this. Being in tune with your heart and using that, oh, let's see, to speak your truth. And then also staying firm in your truth, right? Enduring in your truth, whatever that is for you. All right. I think I've said enough about this. Yeah, it's a it's a very positive outlook on something that may have been less than ideal for potentially a while. Um, yeah, bringing. I mean, you go into an environment where a harp is playing, and it just feels like lighter and harmonious, right? And just like peaceful music, right? Let's get one more figure to close out this reading, and then we'll end it there. Okay, so we've got like a tennis player who is like actively, it's like they are rushing into position so that they can serve the ball back, right? So this idea of like communication, again, it's like, they serve something to you and then you return it. And then that's this game, this back and forth. And it's like maybe that is the process of this balancing out. You both bring your truth to the table, and maybe it becomes more fun and light, with the heart bringing that light energy. And then now we have this idea of like play, like a game, playfulness, right? Yeah. I mean, there's heavy emphasis on creation here and playfulness with the magician and the star. And you never know. Maybe this person, this relationship, whatever it is, could be more like supporting and nurturing than you realize. So we have the Queen of Cups, and down here you can see it says supportive. So maybe your truth is something that this person can actually support in some way. All right. That's all I have. Thank you for being here with me today. Hopefully, you found something useful here. As always, take care of yourselves, keep your heart open. Bye.